This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one note podcast. Interviewing musicians, comedians, sports personalities, basically whoever has a story, and sharing it with you. Also featuring music from around the world, artists of all kinds of genres. This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one note podcast. What's always about encouragement, and who doesn't need some encouragement? Kick back and relax for a fun time. Great music. Encouraging words for you today. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. Our first song we have today is by Robbie Harte, and she collaborates with Lynn Swaney. This is a song called Love Like That. Brand new song that just came out. Hope you enjoy.
Took a walk down by the water to rest my weary mind when I met an older lady and we chatted for a while. She told me about her husband who she'd lost some time ago. Shared memories of her true love, the only one she'd ever known. And I said, when did you know that he was the one you couldn't live without, and overcame your doubts for over 50 years? You both defied the odds through the good times and bad. Yeah, I wanna love like that. She leaned a little closer and a smile came to her face. I've had years of love behind me that even time cannot erase. Maybe all alone now, but these memories keep me whole. 'Cause he is always with me, in my heart and in my soul. And she said, hold out for the one who makes you feel alive, treats you how you desire, loves you and knows your worth. You'll know it by the way he makes you feel inside. Don't be afraid to act when you find a love like that. Ooh, keep your love alive. It's the little things, not big diamond rings, that'll keep your love alive. I've no regrets or what's left unsaid. Always kiss each other goodnight. Just a few years later, as I'm walking down the aisle, thinking of that old sweet lady, and a tear came to my eyes. I know she'd be so proud of me for taking her advice. And as I say my vows, I know that they're together now. I said, I'll heal love for the one who makes me feel alive, treats me how I deserve, loves me and knows my worth. I'll do it by the way he made me feel inside. I didn't wait to act when I found a love like that. I found a love like that.
That was Love Like That by Robbie Harte and Lynn Swaney. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. Hope you're doing well. The year has brought on really cold temperatures across the U.S. and snow and ice. I hope you're staying safe, and maybe you're able to check on the elderly around your neighborhood and friends and family be sure they're doing okay in these frigid times. So excited to have you back for another fun, exciting episode. The first song you heard today was a brand new song by Robbie Harte and Lynn Swaney called Love Like That. Really, really good tune. I really enjoy Robbie Harte's music and the heart and passion she shares with her songs. We have some other great songs lined up for you as well. But I'm going to introduce my guest today. She is from my neck of the woods here in the PNW, aka the Pacific Northwest. Lady Miranda is a multi-genre singer-songwriter who's been writing for 25 years, and she really became a songwriter in 2009 as a vocalist. She has been leading as guest groups in local bands in the Seattle area. While Lady Miranda is known for smooth vocals, to have the ability to hit really high notes, she is no stranger to rap music, and she has written several rap songs with soulful Latina flair. She has performed in Seattle, New Mexico, Colorado, Las Vegas. Is driven by their passion to create new music, her love of music, and for people from all walks of life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chit and Chat Encouraging One-on-One Podcast, Miranda Rain, also known as Lady Miranda. Hello there.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Trying to stay warm.
I hear that.
Welcome to Chit and Chat, the Encouraging One-on-One Podcast. I'm speaking to Lady Miranda today. She's a Seattle native, I believe, correct?
I am.
Right across the pond here. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to join me today. And I love talking to people from all walks of life, especially musicians, kind of get their story a little bit. Before we dive into some fun conversations, I got some icebreaker questions for you. I figured
Sure.
it's 20 degrees outside. We'll have some icebreaker questions.
Pardon me. I'm a little under the weather here.
What's your favorite meal or dessert? Excuse me.
Oh, my favorite dessert is chocolate cake. I don't know what my favorite meal is.
Chocolate cake. Sounds good. If you could live in any country in the world for, say, 6 months, where would you choose to live?
Probably Italy.
Ooh. Yeah, my wife's part Irish and Italian. I'd love to go there. So, you've ever been in Italy before?
I've not, but it's on my bucket list.
Ooh. You have a bucket list of places to visit, or what's the bucket list?
Oh, yeah. A whole bucket list of places to visit. Very long list.
Nice. What was your very first job you ever had?
Working in a movie theater, actually.
Ooh. Yeah, I did that little gig for a little while. What
That was
year was
back
that?
when movie tickets were like $4.75. That tells you how long ago that was.
Yep, things have changed. They've almost doubled, maybe tripled by now, I think.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you had an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what thing would it be?
That's tough. Probably coffee.
Hey, I'm with you. Hey. my coffee friends. I'm with you. I run out of coffee. I'm like, I'm out of our creamer. I do love a Dunkin' Donuts creamer.
Yeah, so sad story about coffee. You know, as you get older, your body changes. So this year, my stomach decided that it couldn't tolerate a lot of hot coffee anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very sad about that. But I can still tolerate cold brew, which they say is less acidic. So I guess we're still okay.
Yeah, you get your caffeine intake for sure. What are 3 things that you love doing for fun when you're not singing or songwriting or on the road? What 3 things do you really enjoy doing?
Excuse me. I like to do art, actually.
Oh,
I do a lot of coloring. Sometimes I do painting. I like to read. And you said 3 things?
Yeah.
So art, reading. I also don't laugh. I only watch Food Network on TV only because I rarely watch TV,
I watch
but
a
I
lot of
do
Food
like
Network.
to do that.
Yeah, I like Food Network. We watch it. My wife and I watch it a lot. She loves the dessert making shows. I tell you, watch it, we get hungry though.
I like watching the competitions.
Yeah. What inspired you to do art? Do you have just kind of just cause, or you have someone in your family or a friend maybe who got you into that?
No, my family, they're not very artistic. I don't have a lot of art people in my family, so I really don't know kind of where I inherited that from. I don't think I inherited that. I think that was just something that I picked up somewhere.
Is it very therapeutic for you? Just kind of not think about music for a little bit, just kind of relax doing art.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing it. It's a great stress reliever,
Okay.
and I get kind of lost in it.
For some of listeners out there who might not know who you are, would you mind sharing a little brief bio about yourself?
Um, yeah, sorry, you're gonna have to give me a minute here.
Sure.
I was fine until you wanted to put me on a recording.
I had the magic to edit, so I can do some editing. That's no problem.
Yeah, I've been fighting this terrible cold all weekend. So, brief bio. Wow. I know I have one. I never remember what it says. But basically, I'm originally from Santa Fe, New Mexico, but I've been living in Washington for, I don't know, 22 years now, I think.
Oh, wow.
Long enough that they consider me a native. I've been singing for pretty much my whole life. I used to do a lot of, how kids are, you do a lot of fake performing when you're growing up. And I sang in choir. And my parents said that when I was a baby, I wouldn't go to sleep unless they put me next to a speaker. So I guess that tells you how long I've been involved in music.
A couple of years.
Well, just a few. I started recording professionally in 2019. So, and I've been kind of doing that ever since. And then things just kind of progressed. And have been progressing even more rapidly since I won my music award from ISSA. And so that's kind of where we are now. We're just keep going.
Do you recall your earliest memory when you thought singing was your calling?
When I thought singing was what?
Your calling, what you really wanted to do?
I don't know if I really had that moment. I think it wasn't until I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, I started recording professionally in 2019 and I was like, I really kind of like doing this and I think I'll keep, trying to do it. And I was working with a producer out in Nashville at the time. And then during COVID, he decided he didn't want to produce music anymore. And I had released a few singles at that point, but I still had it on my bucket list to release a whole album. So I found a producer here in Washington, did a whole album, released it. And I think it was after that where I really kind of felt like, I think this is something I want
Want to go after?
You there?
Yeah, I am now. Yeah, you blocked that after.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Now, what was I saying? Oh, I was saying that so after I found my producer here in Washington and I did my whole album, I kind of knew then that I would probably write more. But when I won my award for ISSA, I think that I think that really even more solidified it for me. So I think I've had kind of small moments.
Okay. Did you have people along the way who encouraged you, maybe in your younger years specifically, that encourage you in music, or being in choir? It takes a little bit of getting on stage and singing in front of people. Butterflies come out. Did you have a teacher or someone who encouraged you, or maybe your parents did that for you?
Oh, I was in the back end choir on purpose, just so we make that clear. I had terrible stage fright. I really didn't start getting comfortable with the stage until I was in my 20s. And so the reason for that, and the whole reason I really started singing more, was that when I was in my 20s and I was in college, I had a fellow student of mine who dragged me out to a local bar to go to karaoke. Now, mind you, my whole plan was just to sit there and listen. They had a different plan, apparently. And she got the host to come over to our table, and they literally shoved a microphone in my face.
Oh no!
And was like, "What are you gonna sing?" And I was like, "No, I'm not singing." And they were like they shoved a microphone in my face, and everybody's watching, and then everybody starts, trying to egg me on. And so I sang from my seat because I refused to get on the stage. And I think I sang from my seat the first several times I did karaoke until they forced me otherwise.
What was the first song you sang?
It was "Respect" by Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of a forced performance at that point. And but then I started to slowly get comfortable on the stage. It took me some time. And now I can get on a stage. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, back then it was, I had terrible stage fright.
In your opinion, what are a few strengths you really need that will help you in pursuing a music career? I'm sure getting butterflies, it comes, for anyone really, kind of getting those out eventually. What are some strengths that you think people might need in pursuing that?
I don't know that I have specific strengths I would tell anybody that they need other than grit and drive, because I tend to do things very differently than a lot of people. You can ask my producer, he'll vouch for that. So I don't tend to follow any kind of set rules or set ways that people think music needs to be done. And so I feel like that's a strength because it's worked well for me. So I feel like if I was going to tell anybody anything, I would say find the way that it works best for you and stick with it, regardless of what anyone else tells you.
And let's give a little kudos to your producer. Who's your producer?
His name is Jimmy Flaherty. He runs Seattle Sound Productions.
Okay.
And he's an awesome guy. We have a great working relationship, and he's been producing music since the 90s, so he knows his stuff.
Can you describe a few of your favorite things you love about being a musician? I've seen some of your videos. I've heard some of your songs, and every one of them are heartfelt. You feel the words from your songs. What are some of your favorite things?
I love writing. I've been writing since I was a kid. I started with poetry, which, kind of is a natural transition into songwriting, in my opinion. So I really love writing songs, and I take my own personal experiences and feelings and things that I've seen or things that I, would like to have experienced differently, and I put that into my music because I think that's important to help you connect with the audience. I really do like making music videos. I have a plan to do another one. I know that the one I have on YouTube that I did in 2019 is pretty hardcore. But what people don't realize is, like, behind the scenes, we were cracking up the whole time because when we were driving the what I call the getaway car, we had the child lock on. You don't get to see these bloopers, right? But we were cracking up because the guy was like, "Guys, I can't get out. Do you have the child lock on?" And we were like, "Oh, crap." We had to do that take probably 5 or 6 times. It was pretty hilarious. And then we were joking about how the neighbor was going to call the cops because we kept kidnapping the same guy and letting him go. And this was broad daylight. So apparently we would have been the worst criminals,
Oh, what song is this?
That's for Reckless.
Okay.
I released that in 2019. And so I think making music videos is a lot of fun. if you do it, if you have the right people involved, and you've got a set idea, but things don't always necessarily work out how you plan them, apparently. So that would have been a great blooper reel, and I almost wish I had it, but yeah.
You don't see that very often, musicians putting out, blooper YouTube song videos. That'd be fun to watch, though, for sure.
I keep threatening my producer. I keep telling him that I'm going to make a blooper reel of everything that happens in the studio, because we laugh all the time.
And that's awesome when you go in there with with a purpose, but being serious, but laughing and enjoying at the same time. I'm sure that helps things go by a little quicker and enjoyable.
Oh yeah, for sure, and there's things that happen. Sometimes we get happy accidents, and sometimes we're like, what the heck was that? And then the cat comes in and starts getting pissed off at everybody, and
you performed all over different venues, and is there a venue that really has some great acoustics that you love singing at?
That's difficult, because I feel like I've been in several venues with great acoustics. There's a venue that I performed at down in Denver, and I can't recall the name of it, but that one had really good acoustics. And then, of course, most venues in Vegas have good acoustics, to be honest, because it's Vegas and everybody is performing there, So last year I was at Ellis Island Casino, and they have a they have a place called the Front Yard, which is kind of their restaurant / performance space. It's got a big stage with all the lights and whatnot, and that actually had really good acoustics, so it was kind of neat to perform there.
Can you share with us if someone comes to see you, perform your on stage? What kind of styles and music do you perform, and what kind of a lot of folks have a great presence, on stage, and they dance around and hop around. What kind of performance do you have when you're in concert?
Well, that depends on which song I'm doing, I think. If anybody, so people who listen to my music are usually very surprised, and I've been told that a lot. Because they hear things that they don't necessarily expect from me, and they hear a lot of variety. I'm a multi-genre artist, and if you listen to my songs, that's truly what I am, because I take genres and I blend them together, and I've done everything from pop to R&B to rock to hip-hop. I have an award that I won for the rap hip-hop category in December from Academia Awards, and people are always surprised by that, because they look at me and they go, oh, you're not a rap artist, and then they hear me and they're like, oh, that's not you. I'm like, really? Well, who was it then? Because I was in the studio doing the work. I don't know. So I think it really depends on what song I'm performing.
Okay.
So you just never know what you're going to get out of me. Just be prepared for anything. I'll just say that.
How do you do your styles? I mean, you have multiple genres and multiple. Is that kind of something you worked into, or you want to try some different styles? How'd that work for you?
I think it's because I have so many different musical influences. Growing up, I listened to so many different genres and so many different artists, and everything from rock to classic rock to hard rock to hip hop to R&B to pop to and everything in between. So I pull influences from multiple genres, and I'm pretty creative, so I always think to myself, I don't think this has been done a whole lot before. Let me take rock and mix it with rap lyrics and that kind of stuff. And so really, whatever kind of intrigues me, if I hear like a beat or something that sometimes I just hear beats that will make a song start popping into my head, and I'll write it, and it just comes out however it comes out. And I just kind of go with it. So whatever it is that just seems to need to be written at that time, that's what I write.
Earlier you mentioned the ISSA, the International Singer-Songwriter Association. I just found out my podcast when it was been nominated for an award. I'm still kind of pinching myself.
I did see that. Lovely. That's awesome.
I'm still in shock. Believe me. How has the ISA helped you in getting your name out and your music out there?
I think it's helped me make a lot of connections. And then, of course, after I won my award, I had a lot of promoters messaging me. And you have to weed through, which promoters are real, which promoters aren't, and which promoters are good, which ones aren't. And, um, I'd never had so many people messaging me, bombarding me like that before. So that was new. But really, I made a lot of connections with people from all over the world. I got to talk to artists from the UK and from Greece and from so many different parts of the US, and had some really great conversations with people, and it's um, led me to have other interviews with other people doing shows and podcasts and radio, and it's also what led me to big records and signing with them, and just a variety of opportunities and connections. And then, of course, I'm always, I picked Tammany's brain probably so many times before the awards because I had never been. So I'm asking her a million questions, and she's very gracious in responding. So just kind of building those friendships and connections was really helpful.
What was it like when you get nominated for an award, then win an award? Do you kind of pinch yourself going, is this real? Is this, because you won Female Singer Single of the Year in 2023. That was incredible.
Yeah. I think getting nominated was a big deal. I was actually nominated as a finalist in 3 categories. And that was very exciting, and I was excited about it. But then when you're sitting at the award show, you kind of have this anxiety of like, are they going to call my name? Are they going to call my name? And then when they actually call your name, you're kind of like, oh, wait, that's me. And it was very surreal. I almost felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. And I think even afterward, after I got home, I still didn't quite believe it. So it took a while to sink in. So yeah, it's always one of those things where like you'd love for it to happen, but you don't quite expect it.
Right.
So when it does happen, it's almost like you're still in shock from it for a little while.
There's so many artists out there who share their life through music, experiences, things they face. Is that very similar how you write your songs as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My songs definitely tell a story. And I would say that's true for most of my songs. There's maybe one song that I wrote just for fun to say I could. And oddly enough, that song got chosen to be in an independent film.
Oh,
So
wow.
every song has its purpose.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because the only reason I wrote that song, and it's a rap song, but I won't go into detail about the lyrics, but let's just say it's R-rated. Anyhow, the whole reason I did that song was because I told my producer, I said, guys write this kind of stuff all the time. Why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
So I did. And now it's going to be in a movie.
Wow.
So I was like, hey, that's cool.
I was reading your bio, and it says you are focused on building more positive and inclusive music community in the area of PNW, the Pacific Northwest. How do you go about doing that?
Right. Well, I am a representative for the ISSA for the Seattle area. And I am hoping to bring some opportunities to artists here. I did start a Facebook page for the Seattle community for ISSA, and I do have a few people that have come through there, and I've helped provide them with some opportunities of things that they were looking for. But I'm also hoping to start bringing more awareness to ISSA, but also just to being an independent artist in general and bringing people together, because it seems like here the running theme, and I've heard a lot of artists say this, is that the music community here is not super supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I have a show coming up at the end of March, and rather than having, other artists from from, big records or whatnot. Not that I won't ever do that, but I think this time around I'm going to have other local artists performing in the show with me, just to give some local artists the chance to be part of something bigger
Well, I
than
definitely would
just
love.
performing inside of their own show. You know what I mean?
Right. I would love to stay connected with you. I live in Silverdale, and I've had a lot of local guys from Gig Harbor, Tacoma, and here in Silverdale, Washington. That's Joe Gibson Jr. and Jessica Lynn Whitty. A lot of folks that are. I think the PNW gets not a lot of credit for a lot of gifted musicians we have, besides back in the Kurt Cobain and back in
Yeah,
the 80s and
exactly.
90s. Yeah, so I'd love to help any way I can. I'd love to share their music, get them on the podcast, and kind of get their story, because I believe what you're doing is awesome, especially in this area.
That'd be great. Yeah, well, and that's exactly what you said. We don't get a lot of recognition out here. I see other artists that are getting articles in their local paper and this and that and the other, and we don't really have that here. And so I feel like a lot of artists here don't feel supported, and they feel that lack. And so it'd be nice to be able to find ways to give them those opportunities and help them be part of something bigger than just the little circle that they feel comfortable in.
Yeah, so let me know if I get any musicians, or I'll shoot you. I think I'm on the group as well. But yeah, let's get that bigger spotlight here in the PNW for musicians for sure.
Yeah, I know several artists who would probably take you up on that, actually.
You also love mentoring musicians. How do you help mentor musicians? That helping them with lyrics or stage presence, like you mentioned earlier, or what?
So I've been volunteering with a karaoke competition that's international for a number of years now, and so I mentor singers that go through competitions like this. And I mentor them in a variety of ways. Sometimes they want me to listen to them singing and let them know if that's a good song choice. Sometimes they need help with stage presence, or sometimes they want me to look at their costumes and tell them what I think, if it goes well with their song choice. Sometimes it's even just simple tips and tricks and guides to how to do better runs, or how to keep their vocal cords healthy. So it really just depends on each person and what their needs are. But those are probably the most basic ways that I mentor singers.
And I was reading also, you're an author as well. You wrote a book called Calling Them by Name. Would you mind sharing about that a little bit?
Yeah, that is actually, it's called an epistolary memoir. And it is a form of memoir that you don't see a lot of. And it was something I discovered when I went back through college the second time, because I went to college twice. And so basically it's a memoir, but epistolary means letters. And so it's a memoir written in letter form. And so essentially it's a memoir of letters written to other people that had an impact in my life, whether that was positive or negative. Yeah, I'm planning to write another one. Just haven't gotten to it yet. I've been too busy with music stuff, so.
Are you a full-time musician?
No, but I'd love to be. I'm working toward that.
I'm with you. I'd love to do podcasting full-time, but I gotta have another job to pay the bills to podcast full-time.
Yeah, I have to work to support my music habit right now. Hopefully one day music will support my life instead.
Can you share about your website you have and where people can follow you? You said you're in concert in March, and more details about that too.
Yeah, I'm going to do a show at the end of March in Tacoma. We're going to be raising money for a local nonprofit organization. And it's a nonprofit organization that's animal related, which I'm sure you know here in Washington is a big deal. Mm-hmm. We love our animals. And so that's what I'll be doing. And I'll be having 2 other local artists perform with me. I've got a local comedian who's agreed to host the show. So that should be fun. And so we've got a lot of ideas to raise funds for this local nonprofit. And my website is theonlyladymiranda.com. And if you want to listen to my music, there's a music tab with a drop-down menu, and you can click on whatever platform you listen to, and it will take you straight to my album.
And you go by Lady Miranda, and your actual name is Miranda Rain. How did Lady
Yep.
Miranda for music? But how you basically depict it? You have your personal one, and you have your music one as well.
Yeah, so yes, Lady Miranda is my stage name. That was a moniker that was given to me by a dear friend of mine years ago, and it just kind of stuck, and so we rolled with it. And then Miranda Rain, of course, is my actual name, so which I guess could have been a stage name too. I mean, my friend said it sounded like it could have been a great stage name, but it was already too late by then.
Well, thanks so much for the opportunity. I hope you're getting over your cold you're fighting. I really appreciate your time. I enjoy your music, and I hope we can connect down in 2024. And as you said earlier, sharing musicians here in the PNW, aka the Pacific Northwest, for those who don't know what PNW means, and getting the word out. There's a really gifted artists here in the area from all genres. You said rap, I know country, hip hop over here in Tacoma as well. So I excited about your endeavors for that for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support.
Well, thank you so much, and hope we can stay in touch. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jody. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Lady Miranda, Mercy.
Where do you get off asking me to live? Where do you get off asking me to forgive? How do you hold on to this image? Acting like you're just so innocent. You have no idea just how much your life means nothing. You want mercy. You want mercy. You want mercy.
When I say donuts, what comes to mind? Those donuts sitting on a shelf for a week and a half, small and wrinkly. No. Lone Star Donuts are Texas-style donuts. But you know what? We're in Washington State, and there's 3 locations with nearly 50 flavors. Silverdale, Washington, at 360-204-5021. Port Orchard, Washington, 360-443-2600. And in Poulsbo, Washington, 360-626-1164. And I said nearly 50 flavors of donuts and kolaches. Ever had one? So you might get one. They're delicious. They're Texas-style donuts, so they're huge, homemade, locally owned and operated business. Great tasting donuts. Get some today. For you, for your friends, your family, for your co-workers. Lone Star Donuts. Great tasting donuts around. And you know what? You can't buy happiness, but you can buy donuts. That's pretty much close to the same thing, right? Lone Star Donuts in Kitsap County. Silverdale, Port Orchard, and Poulsbo. Check them out today. Are you looking for some mouth-watering, delicious-tasting barbecue? I got the perfect place for you. Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Get the best smoked brisket. Comes highly recommended. Just falls off the bone. Each meat is cooked and smoked perfectly, moist, and seasoned very well. The ribs are amazing, and they have some great sides like bacon, macaroni, and cheese, and cream corn with green chilies with a little kick. Banana pudding to top it off. It's a great dessert. Being from the South, I love me some banana pudding. See, Brett and Don are locally veterans here in the area with strong military roots. They have found their home here in the Pacific Northwest, serving some amazing barbecue. Check out their website at Double D's Barbecue and Smokery LLC.com. They also cater events. They can help you for any event you may have planned. They're on Facebook as well under Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Great tasting barbecue. Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Delicious barbecue. Each episode, I try to share a few days on the National Day Calendar, just kind of let you know about them, and check more about them out at the nationaldaycalendar.com, as well as hashtag Celebrate Every Day. February 1st, we have Dark Chocolate Day. Who likes some dark chocolate? I like the white chocolate myself, and then February 2nd is Tater Tot Day, so, for dinner time, get you some tater tots and ketchup and I like barbecue sauce, blue cheese. It's also Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil. Hopefully you will not. I think it's not See a Shadow. I think is 6 last weeks of winter. Also watch the movie. If you guys seen it already, please do so. Bill Murray, Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. Good movie. The third is Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Who is in for that day? That sounds like a fun day. Big old bowl of ice cream for breakfast. The fourth, we have Thank a Mail Carrier Day. This one scratches my head a little bit because the fourth is a Sunday. Usually the mail doesn't come on Sunday. So I want to challenge you. Find some time and thank your mail carrier for their service they provide for you, getting your mail to you. The fifth, also a head scratcher, is Shower with a Friend Day. I'm not saying nothing about that one. That one will get someone in trouble. And the sixth, we have Chopstick Day. I'm not a big chopstick guy, but you know what? I'll try and make an effort if I go out and use some chopsticks. Here's some National Day calendar dates from February 1st through February the 6th. Our next song we'll be sharing is by Rosalin Hovencamp, singer-songwriter from South Carolina. I'm getting her scheduled to be on the podcast pretty soon. She reached out to me to share some songs. This is her song called His Open Hands.
stay against my will. And if I leave, he's promised me he'll love me still. So while I'm building castles on the shifting sand, he holds me in his open hand. I know I'm not worthy of his mercy and his grace, and too many times I let my foolish pride get in the way. When I go chasing rainbows and making my own plans, he holds me in his open hand. He holds me firmly in his open hand. And heaven knows I'll never understand why Jesus fills my soul with a love that won't let go. He holds me in his open hand. Sometimes I'm a prodigal, demanding my own way, and God the Father lets me go and waits for me each day until my foolish heart repents and I come home again. He holds me in his open hand. He holds me firmly in his open hand. And heaven knows I'll never understand why Jesus fills my soul with a love that won't let go. He holds me in his open hand. He holds me firmly in his open hand. And heaven knows I'll never understand why Jesus fills my soul with a love that won't let go. He holds me in his open hand. Yeah, Jesus fills my soul with a love that won't let go. He holds me in his open hand.
Nineteenth Hole and Bar and Grill at 2171 Erlands Point Road in Bremerton. Are you looking for a place to wind down for some nice cold beverages, some amazing food, and amazing customer service as well? Come on down to 19th Hole Bar and Grill. It's a great atmosphere where you can hang out with family and friends and maybe co-workers as well. Come on down. Did you know it's one of the oldest bars in Kitsap County, dating back to 1939, and the menu is to die for. Every week, every day, something special. Like Sundays and Mondays, steak night, Tuesdays, Taco Tuesday, Wednesday, wing night, and Fridays are always fish and chips night. With amazing halibut and cod. I also got burgers, sandwiches, salads, and much, much more. And you've got a banquet room for bigger gatherings of friends and families for like birthday parties and whatever shindig you got. Did you know they are rated #1 bar and grill in the best of Kitsap County in 2022 and 2023? They're locally owned and operated. Maybe if you're too busy to stop in, place your order today. Call 360-813-3501 or go to the website at 19thholebarngrill.com today. Their hours are 11 to 11 Monday through Friday and 8 to 11 Saturday and Sunday. This is 19th Hole Bar and Grill in Bremerton. Eat local, eat well. When we transported back in time to, say, the 1950s, as soon as you arrive at the Big Apple Diner, you'll be transported back in time. Their decor is amazing. Their menu is amazing too, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Try something different each time you go. I've had the penny pincher combo, which is a combination of quarter pounder with cheese, french fries, and a milkshake or drink for $9.99. Where can you find a meal for $9.99? And they have over 30 flavors of milkshakes. You can literally have a milkshake a day and never get enough of the milkshakes, pies, and sundaes at the Big Apple Diner. Dine in or take out, so you can check them out. They're located at 6720 Kitsap Way in Bremerton, and their hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they're closed on Mondays. Swing by and check them out. The Big Apple Diner. The website is thebigapplediner.com, or you can call and place your order today at 360-373-8342. Eat well, eat local, eat at the Big Apple Diner in Bremerton. In our podcast spotlight, here I have a chance to go back to a portion of an interview with Margaux Alvarez, episode number 54. She was on the NBC hit show The Titan Games. She's in CrossFit. She's a winemaker, a business owner, and she loves helping people in health and fitness. This little next segment, she shares a little about what it means to her in helping people.
So you're also a fitness coach and trainer. What's it like in helping people eating right and working out properly these days?
I love it. Obviously there's challenges with everything, but to be able to provide insight and information to those that maybe have no knowledge or understanding, it's something that I feel like is so valuable, at least for both aspects, for both parties involved. I know that I'm so saturated in the fitness and health aspect where it's like, I know this, I know my macros, or I know, types of meals to cook, what's going to give me a good ratio of protein, fat, carbs, and working with individuals that have maybe no knowledge or very brief understanding to be able to provide some insight and education for them is huge. I hope it's information that's going to help them make changes in their life so they can hopefully take that on for themselves, for their family, or their friends around them. And I feel like you can get caught up in your bubble sometimes where it's like, oh, everybody knows this information. But if you go somewhere where maybe it's not as accessible or it's not as viable, then you kind of get like a check in your mind is like, all right, cool. Like maybe they don't have access to information, or like this might be common knowledge to me. It may not be to them. So for me, working with individuals and hopefully helping them and giving them guiding information or saying, hey, this is what's worked for me, or this is what I found. I hope that it's at least beneficial for them. And I know it is because people provide feedback, but I feel like there's so many people that I want to help, and I want to be able to try to help as many people as I can. And sometimes it's just small steps at a time, one person at a time.
Yeah, I saw some of your videos that seem pretty basic exercises to do, and it's not too strenuous. You can do it in your living room or your office. So I think that's very, very key for people to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I focus a lot on my YouTube with mobility exercises, body weight exercises. And for myself, I've competed at such a high level, and I've been able to do all these, very high skill movements. And that's great. And I think there's a good handful of people that have that ability out there. But if you're just starting your fitness journey, or you're just getting back into your fitness journey, starting slow and steady and creating consistency every single day is important. And just doing something a little bit every single day is huge. I think a lot of people, even myself, I underestimated walking. I was like, I'm not sweating super hard, I'm not out of breath, but walking is so great for your body. And if you haven't done or aren't doing any exercise and you're looking to get started, start by walking, 5-10 minutes a day, and then slowly adding a minute each day, slowly adding a little bit of more mobility. And I wanted to make it accessible to, hey, like no matter where you're going, whether you're traveling, you're flying, you're driving, you have no access to equipment, body weight movements can be great, walking can be great, running can be great. And again, it's just hopefully giving some people some information, like here's my videos, check them out, like whatever it might be, like take what you like, disregard what you don't like, but find something that resonates with you and incorporate that into your lifestyle. Because I think we all have different intentions and goals, and we all have different kind of achievements we want to work towards. And I think it's important to hopefully just provide as much as I can. So I'll put a lot on my YouTube for that. I'll also try to put that on my social media, and then my fitness app. If people are looking for more, I have access to like body weight programs, or if you're looking for even more, you can do kind of a CrossFit style, like workout of the day where you have some lifting and you have a high intensity piece if you want to sweat a little bit more. And again, it's that information and knowledge. It's for some people, it's like the back of their hand. For other people, it's like a whole new world.
Right.
It's so awesome when people reach out to me and ask me if they can be a part of the show, be interviewed, play their music. I'm like, yes, you're more than welcome. So just scheduling them on and getting them on the show. This is Maeve De Voe, Paparazzi. Enjoy. This is Shit Chat, the encouraging one other podcast. It's always about encouraging others. Thank Thank you so much for joining today's episode, where I interviewed Lady Miranda, getting to know her a little bit, hear her story. We shared her song called Mercy. We also had Robbie Harte and Lynn Swaney's song Love Like That, and Rosalin Hovencamp song His Open Hands, and Maeve De Voe, her song Paparazzi. In our podcast spotlight, we featured Margaux Alvarez. She was on episode 54, and the clip we shared was what's it like for her helping others and fitness and eating healthier and being a little more active. Go back and listen to her full episode in podcast number 54. Please subscribe and follow the podcast. You can find us pretty much all over social media, a lot of podcast platforms as well. This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one on the podcast. It's always about encouraging others. Until next time, take care.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.